The failed coup attempt in Russia, even though it was unsuccessful, leaves Vladimir Putin weakened. A diminished Putin is a less reliable partner for China, less of a military threat to Ukraine, and less of a menacing disruptor across the rest of the world. For the United States, Russia's decline could help spark an economic boost, much like it did 32 years ago, when the fall of the Soviet Empire ushered in a long period of American prosperity. The Russia situation today is a lot like living through the end of the Cold War all over again. By August 18, 1991, when President Mikhail Gorbachev of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics was placed under arrest at his dacha in the Crimean resort of Foros, the Soviet Union had already begun to come undone. On December 31, 1991, the Soviet Union officially was dissolved and replaced by 15 independent countries. The fall of the Soviet Union changed the world materially. Germany was reunited, Ukraine declared its independence, and the U.S. was the world's dominant superpower. It helped kick off an era of prosperity in the United States that would last throughout the entire 1990s, the longest boom in modern U.S. history. Look, it is possible that a diminished Putin or a successor could make Russia more desperate and pose an even more terrifying threat as an unstable nuclear power more willing than ever to back corrupt, brutal dictators, as it did in recent years in Syria, Libya, and Mali. However, a diminished Putin, or the collapse of his regime, is highly reminiscent of the fall of the Soviet Empire 3 decades ago. And if history is a guide, a diminished Putin could strengthen America's hand in dealing with China's expansionist aspirations. It could bolster NATO and free market democracies across the world, and restore confidence in a geopolitical world order based on rules, the system backed by the United States since the end of World War II. Putin's fall poignantly comes at the very same moment U.S. companies are leading the world into adoption of generative artificial intelligence. AI is expected to boost the growth of the U.S. economy materially annually for the next decade. Artificial intelligence could be more impactful than the introduction of the World Wide Web in the U.S. in the early 1990s. It's like the fall of the Soviet Empire is happening all over again. Only this time, investors have the benefit of lessons from the recent past.